Hi everybody, and welcome to Contour by Colette, my new t-shirts. Today we're going to talk about a hot topic that I'm just super hot on, and that is Cagrilintide. And I say that because I had a patient this week that has been on Mounjaro 15 milligrams for almost a year, and she just stopped losing weight. Her complaints are the food noise. She cannot get rid of the food noise. So what I've done is added Cagrilintide. So let's get into it. Cagrilintide is a modified form of Amylin. Do my type 1s remember Amylin, Symlin, Pramlintide? It was an incretin that works for a short period of time, only 2 hours, that you would take before every meal. Because your beta cell doesn't just make insulin, but it also makes amylin in response to a rising blood sugar. But we type 1s don't produce any amylin like we don't produce any insulin. And those with type 2 might be seeing an insulin resistance to amylin and insulin, or even the leptin resistance. And it plays a key role in delaying gastric emptying, decreasing glucagon, regulating postprandial blood glucose, and enhancing the feeling of fullness, very similar to GLP1s. Symlin was launched in March 16, 2005, and was developed by Amylin Pharmaceuticals. This was developed right around the same time as Byetta, the first GLP1. Due to its short half-life, less than 2 hours, it required patients to take it more frequently, 3 times a day. This was not appealing to type 1 and definitely not appealing to type 2. It never gained approval outside of the US due to poor sales, not due to poor efficacy. It just never went anywhere. It was dosed in 30 micrograms, 60 micrograms, and type 2 dosing up to 122 micrograms. Those that used it, including myself, know how amazing it was. It helped me during competition. I knew that it suppressed my appetite, and it also helped me with weight loss. Novo Nordisk has since modified the amino acid structure of Amylin, of Symlin, and extended its half-life to 7.3 days, allowing for weekly administration and saying goodbye to Symlin and hello to Cagrilintide, which is currently being evaluated in phase 3 clinical trials, otherwise known as Redefine and Reimagine, in combination with semaglutide. So look out, it's going to be marketed as CagriSema. Cagrilintide is a GLP1, similar to GLP1 and GIP receptor agonist. It slows the rate of gastric emptying. It suppresses glucagon secretion. But amylin magnifies the effects of a GLP1 with a different pathway that directly acts on the alpha cell that produces glucagon by inhibiting its release, which prolongs the sensation of satiety after eating and aids in the maintenance of blood glucose levels. This supports weight control and improves metabolic effects overall. In some cases, individuals with obesity may develop leptin resistance, where their bodies become unresponsive to leptin signals of fullness. Studies suggest that amylin might help to improve leptin sensitivity by enhancing leptin signaling in the brain. As a dual amylin and calcitonin receptor agonist, Cagrilintide engages both amylin and calcitonin receptors, amplifying therapeutic potential. So when you're thinking calcitonin, you might be thinking the parathyroid gland, where that is secreted, primarily involved in regulating calcium balance by promoting calcium and its incorporation into bones. Studies suggest that stimulating receptors with peptides like Cagrilintide may also help reduce blood glucose levels in type 2 diabetes. So, in the brain, Cagrilintide, Symlin, amylin, receptors, they're located, and that's what helps regulate the appetite. So this is what gets rid of the strong food noise that patients are still experiencing on GLP-1s. This may be used for those that have had long-term treatment with GLP-1s and they just are not losing weight. This is liraglutide, semaglutide, your tirzepatides, your Ozempics, your retatrutides, your Victoza, Saxenda. It's beneficial in all these cases to knock out that food noise. This could also be beneficial in people with leptin resistance, where their bodies are less responsive to leptin signals to stop eating. So this might be interested in conditions like Prader-Willi. There is a synergistic weight loss potential with GLP1s and Cagrilintide, otherwise known as Cagri. In a 20-week phase 1B trial, they looked at 96 overweight individuals without type 2 diabetes in combination of a 2.4 milligram semaglutide, Ozempic, and 2.4 milligrams of Cagrilintide. They found they lost almost 20% from their baseline body weight. They also found a reduction in A1C of negative 2.2%. They found a reduction in fasting blood glucose by 60 milligrams per deciliter. And this was just amazing. The synergy of Cagrilintide with any GLP-1. Currently, they're recruiting for a phase trial. It's called Redefine 3 in 2024. So I don't know if that study is closed yet, but you can go to clinicaltrial.org to see if you can get involved. And this one is similar to the Redefine, but it's called Reimagine. And the participants will start at 0.025, which we're familiar with, that type of dosing with semaglutide, going to 0.5, then 1, then 1.7, all the way up to 2.4. And this will be a 16-week study. And they're expected to have this study last 4.5 years. So, if you are interested, clinicaltrials.org. But I am very, very excited about Cagrilintide. And I'm excited about it for my patients, having just another tool in the toolbox. Now, we're still in this area about them being research peptides. So currently, Cagrilintide is not FDA approved, but it is a research peptide, and it is being researched currently by Novo Nordisk in phase 3 clinical trials. But we do have access to these peptides, these very amazing peptides. And if you are struggling with your usage of a GLP-1 or GLP-1 GIP or even retatrutide, and you just are not getting rid of the food noise, by adding Cagrilintide, you might just be able to break that ceiling. All right, you guys, until next time, Contour by Colette.